Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. Most topics related to digital currencies and finance, including Ripple and XRP, will be covered today. Recently, we became aware of a Twitter exchange between Brad Garlinghouse and Adrian Tripzani. Naturally, this is Medico, and I hope I pronounced it correctly. They have also briefly discussed the internet's significance and the current financial paradigm shift and what this means for the Bitcoin community and the general public. As we can see, Brad Garlinghouse anticipates $10 trillion to arrive on the XRP ledger from the custodial digital asset market, making this opportunity one of his most notable recent pronouncements. Flipping the chain made this possible. If you want to know how much XRP will be worth at that time, watch this video. It is estimated that the total value of digital assets under custody would exceed $10 trillion by the year 2030. People will always need a place to store their valuables that is both protected and convenient for getting to and from. The ratio of ripples is effective. He views central bank digital currencies or CB even as a tokenization engine focuses on these. We think a lot of things go together. And we did it already. When we first spoke, I was on the phone with one of the largest banks in the world, with whom Ripple had previously established a working relationship. And they asked if we could help with custody. We hadn't been able to before the earlier medical acquisition. That's why I think a partnership between the two companies would be really fruitful. When I think of the synergy involved, and the potential to advertise to the existing client base of Ripple that, look, we're competing head-to-head with the best in the industry at the custody level, and we're winning time and time again. That's all I have for you. Provisioning, custody services, liquidity, and more are all areas in which Ripple plays a role. They intend to serve as a one-stop shop for all consumer requirements. That's exactly right. In essence, that's what they're shooting for. And you can probably anticipate what occurs when a customer turns to them as a source of funds. They may need the assistance of a custody firm. It is not their desire to be normal. Perhaps you might start dating his custody holding company. The purchase of Medico was a big deal since they didn't want to be a one-stop shop. Given the significance and political weight of the move, I would be stretching the truth to say that official alliances are emerging as a result. There was a lot of discussion about it on the air. However, let's skip ahead to the month of September. Since we're already discussing it, I should mention that I think they bought the media in May, and that we got the following news in September. 50% of global financial CEOs plan to implement a cryptocurrency custody solution within the next 3 years. Over the next 3 years, cryptocurrency custody services will play a crucial role in the conventional economy. The institutional side of things is also where things get really exciting. We don't joke around here about the mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies, do we? After all, we are talking about $10 trillion. I suspect it's far bigger than that. The reason I say this is because the market is already filled with some very large companies in terms of assets under management. Their value exceeds $10 trillion. But what about later on? As far back as 2019, Ripple intended to offer custodial services. This goes back to the year 2019's October. From the Bank of Ripple investment in Toe Labs XRP and aiming to develop high-quality Toe Labs today, a Swedish company that aims to make Bitcoin self-custody easier announced that they have received a strategic investment from the Spring Ripple's developer program. Now that Ripple is up and running, it's clear that they didn't leave any stone unturned. What an exciting development. In my opinion, not enough individuals have done their due diligence on Medico. Medico offers a wide variety of services, not just custodial care. They are the standard by which all other institutional-grade services for digital assets are measured. We're talking about everything under the sun, but if you only have time to read a few sentences, here are some highlights from their website. Digital asset application cases that can be met by enterprise-ready bundles containing tried-and-true solutions for businesses and monetary service providers. Companies, global custodians, universal banks, regulated exchanges, neobanks, and financial technology firms are all available. The addition of cryptocurrency account trading, staking, and other digital asset features creates additional revenue streams and increases margins, so Ripple's business model fits the bill for neobanks and fintechs. Tokenization, however, is also practiced by approved exchanges, without any guarantee of efficiency or safety in operation. You also have access to universal banks, which facilitates collaborative effort. Also, remember that all of the topics covered here, even those pertaining to cryptocurrencies and digital asset solutions, are inside the realm of medicine. Because MedEco is the gold standard for hospitals and other large facilities. I think Ripple recognized a lot of potential in it and decided to buy it because of that. And I am quite excited about this. We can see it right here, so it must be exactly what you're after. The adoption and activities surrounding cryptocurrencies are all consolidated in a single place thanks to the alignment of the digital asset core system with banking roadways. Moreover, this alters the rules of the game. This user interface is crucial for successful widespread adoption. Therefore, I interpreted this as a strategic move on Ripple's part. And based on all the dudes already in the medical sector, I think they knew that back then, as they do now. As you have society which is truly worldwide, not to mention Swiss banks and BNP Paribas, they actually have banks here, they have a global scope. The next on the list is Standard Chartered, another major bank with ties to the VP bank in question. In addition, it's important to remember that many of the major corporations associated with the medical sector may no longer be providing funding for them. For instance, we are cognizant of the fact that the municipality was weighing its options and the state of the connection. Perhaps they plan to isolate themselves from medical help. In any case, we have no idea. It is common knowledge, however, that a substantial number of financial institutions maintain a presence in the healthcare sector. I bring this up because I think they realized that the medical sector already had linkages to important players like municipalities. For this reason, I frequently referred to concepts such as ripple effects and domino effects. Listen, they were saying, they have two choices. They'll either keep up with us or abandon ship. It's common knowledge that among digital currencies, Ripple is at the forefront. The crypto solutions are creative and unique. From what we can see, this is not the past, but rather the future. So they may either work on improving it or aiming for the stars, and they can start reaping the benefits of crypto assets right now, in any case. But now we know what it will take, a few years. In light of this, I contend that Ripple fundamentally changed the nature of the game. To be quite forthright, I think they are pioneering the widespread adoption of the Internet of Value with these massive acquisitions like MedEco, and I find their enthusiasm for it contagious. Wow, I can't believe that. Keep in mind that in 2018, medicine was on the cutting edge of major advancements, particularly in regards to crypto innovation. When they claimed to have introduced the first institutional vault for the secure storage of digital assets, they were actually just among the first to do so. And we know exactly where to find institutional-grade solutions, which is where the big bucks are. Even nascent asset classes have their problems, such as the widely held but mistaken notion that Bitcoin would play a pivotal role in the cryptocurrency industry. The time has arrived for XRP's market cap to hit $1 trillion, and I believe very strongly that utility will be the driving factor behind the creation of value for these coins beyond that point. What, then, was the utility value you ascribed to XRP? I've always felt that way, and since we don't know yet, it's tough to give a satisfactory answer. Where it's going, major European banks are apparently creating cryptocurrency custody sections, which brings us back to 2021 and further discussion of MedEco. The European Custodial Bank, which manages $496 trillion in assets, is clearly working with the Swiss technology firm MedEco. That took place in 2021. Keep in mind that this happened before Ripple went back to Mexico for tea. The level of interest here is off the charts, given the strength of this bond between them. Let's trace the threads back to Mexico and see where they end up. This is the one that has $496 trillion in assets under management and an additional $26 trillion in assets under custody. With your newfound big picture understanding, you and your company may be able to take a major step toward approaching the institutional grade market by employing and obtaining Medico Ripple. When I remark that this is a significant development, I am some of these major financial institutions are already well known to have close ties to Ripple. However, this is merely a massive new doorway to a multi-billion-dollar market. So, I think Ripple made a pretty smart decision here, and it did something that would position them much ahead of anyone trying to oppose Ripple in the long run. However, we are also cognizant of the rising need for institutional-level adoption and custody services. In September, Deutsche Bank began offering a secure location to store Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. We also know that in February of 2020, State Street was working with regulators to make a major push for cryptocurrency custody. You may recall that State Street is an asset management firm whose clients have invested $3.6 trillion with them. In addition, Ben, you probably already know that in July of 2022, BNP Paribas entered the cryptocurrency custody market. You know what else? They were working on a State Street medical case together with people from Mexico, Mexico City, and Mexico. Since I can't access this article, I'm going to assume that State Street and Medico don't work together. Deutsche Bank, on the other hand, and Taurus are genuine partners. Since the aforementioned incidents and BNP Paribas were previously familiar with Medico, it follows that this is not Medico. BNP Paribas Security Services' position as a leading international custodian, with over $13 trillion in assets under custody, is what makes this partnership important. This is despite the fact that several large banks are heading into cryptocurrency custody, as we can see here. That's a huge deal. That's why I often stress the importance of keeping tabs on these powerhouses. Mellon, the largest custodian bank, also seeks a Bitcoin and Ethereum custody service. Once again, we lacked any substantial understanding of the situation. As far as we can tell, they are only coming up with some custody-related services. Many of these guys, however, are extraordinarily affluent. I think crypto custody services will be crucial in the new economic order being ushered in by the Bitcoin ecosystem. Also, keep in mind that, from our perspective, the Bitcoin industry is just accelerating. I can't wait for this. Nonetheless, let me know what you think below in the comments. I'm eager for your feedback. Finally, fellas, if you like the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and thumbs up button. See you later, bye.